Hello and welcome to Anxious at Bedtime. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Cash. That's
Mm,
Monica.
Yep.
Hell yeah, look at me killing it. I got all of the intro, allegedly. That's Kevin, if you didn't know. He's just in the background going ham, back bacon, whatever you classify that. Oh, did you have anything new, babe? Did you want to talk at all, baby? You're
No, I don't
just
have anything new, but you said you had the whole intro, so I was letting you do the whole intro.
That was it. That's the intro.
Okay.
You got anything new to discuss?
No, I don't, but I thought you did.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. So I don't know if everybody's been paying attention, but all over in the news, not like regular commercial TV news, but all over like TikTok and social media, they're talking about, and in the science world, an unidentified object in the sky, like a meteor or an alien ship.
A comet,
What'd I say?
meteor.
Comet. Anyways, they're saying it's like a comet or an alien mothership heading toward Earth. It's originally they said it was like 21 miles long. Now it's down to like 14 miles.
Mm.
And originally they said he was going to be here in like November. Now they're saying like we got like 2 weeks.
Yeah, see, I haven't heard about that at all until you started telling me about it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I wonder what it is, but they've said stuff like this. So we're going to see 2 weeks pass and maybe nothing happen. But at the same time, today, August 11th, 2025, the President of the United States decided to deploy a lot of the National Guard. And I don't remember what the terminology is for the act that he imposed, but he deployed a bunch of them to Washington, D.C., maybe in preparation for these aliens to say, thank me 2 years later, commercial or TV and movie reference joke. They probably don't really talk like that, though. But maybe he's trying to get ganged up just in case they come rolling in wanting some smoke.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this is the first time I've heard about all of this, and I don't even know what to say. It doesn't feel real. News doesn't feel real anymore. I don't know what's happening.
Well, we just watched that documentary about storming Area 51 and clapping alien cheeks. You think they're coming to clap everyone else's cheeks now? Then that's neither here nor there. But it is weird.
It is. Well, nestled almost perfectly between Portland, Oregon and Seattle, Washington, a ruthless killer lies in wait, biding its time until it has to take more victims. It's not human. It's not a cryptid. It's an 8,363 foot tall volcano located in the Cascade Mountain Range. Mount St. Helens lore runs deep. There's been rumors of cryptids, aliens, cults, hauntings. The list goes on and on. But I want to start at the beginning.
1200 AD in this mountain. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, not that far back.
Oh, that's not the beginning then. I don't know when the beginning was either. So
About 1,000 years ago,
that was the beginning.
there was this giant landslide that basically created a natural dam in the Columbia River.
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn. Over time, as the water continued to apply pressure to the dam, it tunneled its way through. So, you know what I mean? Like it filled and it created
A tunnel?
yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you can picture it.
Yeah, I know what a tunnel is.
Okay. But a natural tunnel.
Oh, not like supernatural?
No.
Oh.
But yeah, so that resulted in a natural land bridge. Native Americans used that land bridge to cross the Columbia River until the year 1700, when there was this huge earthquake known as the Great Cascadia earthquake that destroyed the bridge. But of course, that's just one version of the events.
Allegedly.
According to the Klickitat tribe, it really happened like this. The Great Spirit, which in Western religion would be kind of the equivalent of God, but the Great Spirit had two sons. One was Poto. He lived on the north side of the river, and the second son was White East, and he lived on the south side of the river. Of course, the Great Spirit wanted his sons to be close, and he needed them to be able to communicate and spend time with each other. So he created the Bridge of the Gods, which was the original land bridge.
All right now.
And he created it for that reason, for them to be able to go visit each other and be close and all of that.
Right.
However, the brothers did not get along because they both fell in love with the same beautiful woman named Luit.
Was there only one woman in existence
Only one woman that they cared about.
that existed at all?
Maybe. I don't know. The two brothers couldn't stand that they both had love for the same woman, and they got so angry with each other that their anger shook the earth and crumbled the bridge that tied their lands.
I've been angry enough to shake. I feel that.
To punish them for that, the Great Spirit turned Potto into Mount Adams and White East into Mount Hood.
Mount Hood.
But Lewitt wasn't scot-free from the punishment. Because she fell in love with both brothers and couldn't decide between them, which led to the fight in the first place, she was turned into Mount St. Helens.
I don't know why they gotta rename all these people then.
If you've ever crossed from the Portland area into Washington or vice versa, you've probably heard of the Bridge of the Gods.
Oh, yeah.
Because in 1926, an actual man-made bridge was erected connecting the two states.
I was erected one time. I stood up fast.
Okay. But do you remember that really big, beautiful bridge we went on when we went to Vancouver?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Bridge of the Gods. They kept the name.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Just now it's man-made instead of natural.
It's naturally made by man.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly. This is for entertainment purposes only.
So that's a tragically beautiful, fun tidbit of the history of the area. And immediately, Mount St. Helens is literally started with this sort of paranormal lore, you know?
Yeah.
Now we're going to jump forward to 1980. In March, small earthquakes started happening near the volcano. And towards the end of April, Mount St. Helens started to grow a lump on her north side.
A third nipple.
That bulge reportedly grew 5 to 6 feet a day.
It's one hell of a nipple. Golly.
Yeah. People watched as it grew larger and larger and larger until finally on May 18th, 1980, after more than 123 years since her last activity, Mount St. Helens erupted. But even that was so crazy. So before the eruption, Mount St. Helens had many little eruptions that were mostly just steam and ash.
Yeah. Just a little frustrated, but not all the way pissed off.
Yeah. Of course, that brought out many looky-loos, and the government knew it was dangerous to have people around the volcano that seemingly was about to erupt. So the governor declared a state of emergency. Weird, because anyway.
Synchronicities.
Yeah. And the governor also created a red zone around the volcano, making it so that anybody who stepped foot within that zone got a $500 fine.
That's rude.
Yeah. Keep in mind, that's a pretty popular area. There were tons of cabins out there, so people were pissed that they had no access to their stuff. Then, on May 17th, the day before the eruption, the mayor lifted the ban and allowed 50 carloads of people to basically save whatever they could carry out. There was a second trip scheduled at 10 a.m. on the 18th, but at 8:32 a.m. there was a 5.1 earthquake under the bulge that caused it to landslide. And the sudden change in pressure caused the mountain to erupt. So it all at once. Earthquake, landslide, and then, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It all happened simultaneously.
Pretty much, yeah. Luckily, a lot of lives were saved, but 57 people did die. I tried finding their names, but I could only find 4, so we're going to talk about them. First was Harry R. Truman. His parents were...
Oh, shit. He came before Harry S. Truman?
His parents were 2 foresters in 1896. And though he never knew his exact birthday, he chose to celebrate it on October 30th.
Not quite Halloween. He's like, I can't take that. But the day before is pretty dope. That's mine.
He's a pretty spooky bitch, but, you can't step on Halloween's toes. His family eventually moved to Washington because the land was cheap and the logging was abundant.
Oh, back in the day when Washington was cheap.
Yeah. He enlisted in the Army. He served during World War I, then was honorably discharged in 1919. Following that, he took some time to find himself. He was a prospector for a while, but that didn't really pan out.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Thank you. He spent some time as a bootlegger, then a mechanic. He got married and had a daughter. Eventually, in the mid-1920s, he found his calling. He leased some land and settled into his home near the base of Mount St. Helens, overlooking Spirit Lake. He opened up a little grocery store and a gas station, and eventually added on the Mount St. Helens Lodge.
He liked dealing with the public.
Yeah. He was pretty unlucky in love, though. He eventually divorced his wife, got married again, divorced his second wife because he would allegedly throw her in the lake to win arguments, even though he knew she couldn't swim.
Like, I don't know how that wins an argument. I'm pretty sure that would create a bigger one. Like,
right?
I could see why they got divorced, though.
Yeah.
How many times did he do it?
I don't know. At least more than once, it sounds, yeah.
Maybe once was the divorce. She's like, fuck that. This guy's crazy.
Hopefully. But yeah, so don't do that. Don't throw your significant other in the lake, especially if they can't swim, please. But he then went on to date another woman, but he ended up marrying that woman's sister.
And then threw her in the volcano?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
And that marriage lasted until she passed away in 1975. But through it all, his one true love was the mountain.
Oh, so he fell in love with that girl from earlier, too. That's crazy. Those two brothers got turned in. Does this guy get turned into a mountain?
Kinda.
Is this Mount Shasta?
No.
Oh.
He's most well known when it comes to the eruption because in the months leading up to the eruption, he was all over the news and media saying things like, I don't have any idea whether it will blow, but I don't believe it to the point that I'm going to pack up.
That's what you meant by kinda. He's part of the mountain now.
And he also said, if the mountain goes, I'm going with it. The
You know what?
area is heavily timbered. Spirit Lake is between me and the mountain is a mile away. The mountain ain't gonna hurt me.
I mean, I should have known because you told me we were talking about the 4 people that perished.
Mm-hmm.
You did have information on, so I really should have guessed that's what you meant by... But I'm a dodo.
But yeah, so even when an earthquake woke him up in the middle of the night and threw him out of bed, he just moved his bed to the basement.
Well, yeah, that's all you can do.
You're
going down with the ship.
Yeah, that was his plan.
Well, love never worked, and he was like 80. Makes sense.
Local law enforcement were, of course, frustrated with him because he was right in that red zone, and every time he did a new interview, journalists had to cross into the red zone to interview him. But, on the other hand, he became a national hero. Children from Salem, Oregon made and sent him banners that said, "We love you." There were poems and songs written about him. He received a bunch of fan mail, including marriage proposals. He was in the New York Times. He was talked about on the Today Show. He was a pretty big deal.
Never heard of him.
Me either.
Harry S. Truman.
Yeah.
Not the R one, though.
Not R, no. But, yeah, so he was having a grand old time. But unfortunately, he was wrong about it being a hoax, and the mountain did hurt him. Local officials tried to convince him to leave all the way up to the 17th. That was their last attempt. He did likely die from heat shock pretty much immediately, so at least he didn't feel any pain.
See, that's what he said. The mountain won't hurt him. And he said he wasn't leaving it, so he wasn't wrong.
Yeah, I guess. The next person I want to talk about is David A. Johnston. David was born on December 18th, 1949 in Illinois, where he was raised. His father was an engineer and his mother was a newspaper editor. He had one sister. I think his love for earth sciences really started in 1967 when 3 F4 tornadoes hit eastern Illinois on the same day.
And he was like, yeah, I love this. I gotta go hella west.
Kinda.
All the way.
He went out and photographed the damage that they caused, and he actually got some of those pictures published.
Nice.
Yeah. He then went on to college with the plan to study journalism, but he fell in love with a geology class that he took, and found his love for volcanoes shortly after that. He studied a mix of ancient as well as active volcanoes. He did his master thesis on Mount Augustine, which is a volcano in Alaska. Weirdly enough, that volcano almost ended his life.
Mount Augustine?
Yeah.
Did it try to choke him out or something?
No, but when it started to erupt, David went to Alaska to witness it because he had been researching it, and he got trapped on the island that it was on as it geared up for a second eruption.
Terrible.
Yeah.
At least he got out, though.
But then,
that time.
Yeah.
There.
But isn't that weird?
That is.
In 1979, he joined the United States Geological Survey, where he did a lot of work to try to prove that volcanic eruptions can be predicted. So when Mount St. Helens started to have earthquakes, he was the first geologist on site. There was this research station on the north side of the mountain, and there was a shift change the night before the eruption. Another man named Don Swanson was supposed to be taking over, but something came up, so David took over the station instead. He was the only scientist on the mountain that day, which he even sent scientists home. There was one scientist, I don't remember their name, but they were supposed to be camping on like the ridge of the volcano.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, like things are getting kind of sketchy. You should just go home. But he stayed on the mountain.
He saved other people's lives, but
Yeah.
then his passion got him.
Yeah. And his last words were, Vancouver, Vancouver, this is it, which he said over the radio to his colleagues. But it didn't even make it to his colleagues. Somebody else was like playing with the CB radio and heard it.
Oh, and intercepted it.
Yeah. But isn't that sad?
That is.
So, when David took over the station and relieved the scientist that was already on duty, so like just normal shift change, like at work, you know, like days left, nights came in, you know?
Yeah.
The guy that he relieved that was on duty, his name was Harry Glicken. And like I said, they switched. Harry went home. David clocked in the day before the eruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible timing. But,
yeah.
you know, again, the heat of his passion.
Yeah. But Harry was completely riddled with grief. And I think like survivor's guilt.
Probably.
And it was believed that the station was supposed to be in a safe spot. So there was hope that maybe David had survived. So Harry forced 3 different helicopters to take him over the site to look for David. But the eruption and the landslide were so destructive that the entire area was basically unrecognizable.
I believe it.
Yeah.
That's what happens when a volcano erupts.
Yeah. And because this was almost an abnormal eruption too, so it was different than what they expected completely. But Harry couldn't even find where the station was, let alone find David. The area
burned it all down. It's hot ass lava.
Not only did it burn it down, that's what's crazy, but
it like turns into a rock. It's a whole new formation.
Yeah, it completely it's a whole new ground.
You remember when we drove through like rock formations? They call it craters of the moon, all through like I think it was in Idaho and Montana, like that whole area. Yeah, formations from magma and lava.
Yeah.
So and that didn't look like it before. It creates a whole new thing. Pompeii.
Yeah, exactly.
They had to unearth that again in order to find all that too. It was a whole different city after that. And then they unearthed the whole civilization that was buried in it.
Yeah.
That's how they found out like how bad Vesuvius was.
There's pictures of I think it was David's car. Somebody's car. I don't remember right now, but it was like almost completely buried in just ash and lava.
Yeah. Believable.
Yeah. In fact, the area was so different that pieces of the station weren't even found until 1993.
I think I found those too.
But that's 13 years later.
Yeah. It's a long time.
Yeah. And even then, if I remember right, it was found on accident by road crews trying to build a new highway.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Had to excavate and found it.
Mm-hmm. Then there was Robert Landsberg. He was born November 13th, 1931 in Seattle, Washington. He was in the Navy in the 50s. He served in part of the Korean War. Then he became a photographer, and some of his work was hung in different buildings around Portland.
Nice.
Yeah. I really couldn't find much more information on him, but it's because of him that we have so many photos of the eruption.
No, I just took snapshots.
Yeah.
Like progressive.
He was a few miles away from the summit when the eruption happened and had absolutely no shelter besides his car. As he ran to his car...
It's not like any shelter would really help.
That's true. But so the mountain started to erupt and he ran to his car, but as he ran, he kept turning behind him to take pictures. Then he put the camera's film back in its canister, put that canister in his backpack, laid his backpack down, and threw his body over it to protect it. Which worked.
That's how you could tell he was a real artist. He had to protect his art so that
Yeah.
people could see it.
Exactly.
It's dope.
It's sad,
Respect.
but yeah. Both his car and his body were eventually found. So I think it was this guy's car that I saw pictures of.
Probably.
Some reports say he was found in his car and he laid on top of his backpack on the seat, but some say he was near it. So I'm not completely sure which it was.
Probably in it because that's the best way.
I don't know if he
Probably
made it though.
presume. Yeah, but in order to preserve all of the film,
Yeah.
I don't think it would have made it if it was just under his body. His body shielding a backpack, shielding a canister from the 19 what year?
80s.
80s. I don't think that. I think he probably made it to the car, but don't quote me.
Okay.
That's just my assumption.
The final person we're going to talk about is Reed Blackburn.
Why him?
He was born August 11th, 1952 in Washington, D.C.
Oh, the other side of the country. Different Washington.
Yeah.
Born in one Washington, died in the other. Fucked up.
Yeah. There's not much information on his early life, but he loved photography and went to Linfield College in McMinnville, Oregon. In 1975, he got a job at the Columbian, and it was there that he met Faye Mall.
You say the Faye Mall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Faye Mall.
The Faye Mall.
Mm-hmm.
All right now.
He was a photographer, and she did advertising. They immediately hit it off, and Faye was quoted in an article for the Columbian saying that she got butterflies anytime she heard his voice or he walked by.
You think he put a curse on her?
No.
She got butterflies every time?
No.
Huh.
2 weeks after they started dating, they moved in together. And in 1979, they got married.
Aw.
They shared a love for the outdoors, and Reed had already hiked Mount St. Helens multiple times. So, when the earthquake started, he thought it would be easy peasy to hike, camp, get some great shots, and go home.
He's like, a ticket ain't nothing. I get them all the time. Police want to hate, but they can't stop my shine.
Yeah. He made a deal with National Geography. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wrote Nat Geo and I forget. And the United States Geological Survey, so the company that David Johnston worked for when he was studying the volcano.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
I caught up.
So he kissed his wife goodbye and off he went. He was supposed to head home on the 17th, but less steam was coming out of the mountain that day, so he decided to stay longer. Faye said a friend called her that morning and told her that the volcano erupted, and she remembered saying to that friend, "Oh, great, Reed can come home." But as we know, he never did.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, his brand new, they just got married the year before.
Yeah.
And that's so sad.
And she was so excited for him to come home, and she couldn't even take his ashes or body, really.
Yeah. I can't imagine. Oh my gosh. But like I said, the environmental impacts of this eruption were unimaginable.
Detrimental, yeah.
Yeah. First, there was a near supersonic blast that basically yeeted out a ton of debris. It shot out so fast that debris was found 19 miles away from the volcano.
Yeah, some would say it was yeeted.
Yeah. The destruction is categorized into 3 zones. The first zone is roughly an 8-mile radius, and it's closest to the volcano, where literally everything was completely obliterated. Trees, completely demolished. Buildings, either completely gone or carried away. It was a completely blank slate. The second zone was basically the same, just a little bit less severe. So instead of completely removing trees, it broke them at the base. The third zone is known as the standing dead zone because in that area, trees were left standing, but they were so singed or burned from the heat that they were dead.
Yeah, understandable.
Mm-hmm. Like I said earlier, the eruption started with the largest landslide ever recorded. It took almost the entire north side of the mountain and completely altered Mount St. Helens' shape. So that's one thing I didn't know. Before it erupted, it was very like cone-shaped.
Yeah.
And then because of that growth and the way that it erupted, the mountain looks completely different now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Erosion. Well, from where the mountain shifted and broke off, and then it eroded from all the lava and the magma, shifting it eroded.
Yeah. That landslide was moving fast, and it completely filled valleys and rivers. And when it met Spirit Lake that was near the base, it completely filled the lake. When it first hit, it created an 850-foot tall wave.
It's pretty tall.
Yeah.
Some would say too tall.
Then it raised the elevation of the lake by about 200 feet. So it added that much to the of dirt and debris in the lake that it raised 200 feet. And finally, because of all of those loose and destroyed trees that were everywhere, so much of them landed in the lake that it looked like there was a giant log raft taking up about 40% of the lake surface.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Had a little island.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, of dead trees. And then because of the volcanic gases, the lake was deemed toxic, and scientists were fearful that it would take decades for it to return to anything resembling a safe lake.
Did it?
No. Luckily, I don't remember exactly what, but I think it was different types of algae that started growing, and it cleaned it up a lot faster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would think it was just the magma.
No. But
lava rock filtering the water.
Yeah, no, it was something growing in there. I think it was algae. But the lake also looks completely different than it did before. And then the actual blast, it shot out of the mountain sideways, out of that growth.
Yeah.
And it traveled over 300 miles per hour and flattened roughly 230 square miles of forest, which is the size of Chicago.
Yeah, just in one go, too.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I suppose.
There was a giant ash cloud that reached out about 15 miles up into the sky and then spread out across 11 different U.S. states.
Jeez. That's how they got the dinosaurs, too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Smoke cloud. Whoosh.
And places that were close to the eruption, they experienced an eclipse. It just the ash completely hid
Turned
the sun.
black for a couple days, I believe.
Yeah. And oh my gosh. Some places received up to 5 inches of ash.
This one time I went to Seattle.
Yeah.
And, the Pacific Northwest is always on fire. But that used to happen every day I got outside to get in the car for work. There was 3 to 5 inches, dude. It was so fucking much ash. It's crazy. Anyways.
But could you imagine, for real, having to shovel volcanic ash out of your dry... Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they didn't really have that many auto shifting. They didn't have auto shifting 4-wheel drive, auto locking hubs or anything like that. Even if you wanted to just fucking plow through all that, you had to. You might. I don't know if you need 4-wheel drive to drive through all that ash.
I don't know, but could you imagine how apocalyptic that felt? And that ash lingered for months, causing Lord knows how many health problems.
Oh yeah, I forget about that too.
Yeah, breathing it in for. Oh my gosh.
Especially because the wind, reshifting it, it's back in the air everywhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that takes forever.
Yeah. And then you can't even escape it. Even if you have central air, it just pulls it. You know what I mean?
You need to change your filter every day.
Yeah. Holy cow.
All the soot. And they didn't have air purifiers back then.
Not good ones, yeah.
No, at all.
Really?
Yeah, the air filtration was not the same. And they didn't have home air purification like that.
Yeah. Forget that. The heat from the eruption melted glaciers and snow that were up on the mountain, and that caused basically these floods that were made out of water, mud, ash, everything all in one. And it was traveling so fast that it destroyed bridges and roads, anything in its path. There were... Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. There were even homes that were buried in 25 feet of mud. So overall, as much as 200 homes, 47 bridges, 185 miles of road, water systems, electrical lines, logging operations were all destroyed. We're talking entire ecosystems destroyed. An entire area just completely turned on its head and changed in minutes.
You think that's why it's so expensive to live in Washington?
Maybe it's still trying to recoup.
Yeah, they're trying to... You remember how much it costs from this fucking volcano?
Yeah, build from the ground up.
Make rent $10,000 for an apartment. 1 bedroom? Okay, $9,000 then.
Maybe. But here's where things really take a turn.
Tell me.
In the chaos after the eruption, when the smoke still clung to the trees and search teams combed through ash-covered silence, people started seeing something. Something with wings.
Mothman. I fucking knew it.
Something massive. something that didn't belong in any biology textbook.
It was a fucking pterodactyl.
Okay, have you heard? Oh my gosh. I need to stop watching TikToks when I'm half asleep. There's something about...
Mary.
No. I think in the Appalachian Mountains, people have started reported seeing pterodactyls. Some are over on the east.
Man, I need to watch that. I gotta see what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember. I was like half asleep when I watched it. But yeah, we'll look into that because something somewhere people were starting to see what they think might have been pterodactyls. But anyway, some people say the eruption didn't just destroy the landscape. They think it cracked something open, and whatever crawled or flew out of that mountain. We'll talk about that in part 2.
Oh, all right. That's where we get to the cryptid and the lore.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Because, yeah, it's believed, we'll talk about it a lot more next week, but it is believed that this unleashed a cryptid that people started seeing and reporting.
Probably those pterodactyls.
Maybe. We'll talk about it next week. If you or somebody you know is at a brush with the paranormal and you would like to have that story read on the pod, please email it to anxiousatbedtimepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on social media. We have a Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube.
The world can be a scary place with, I don't know, volcanoes. $500 fines for sure. That's pretty terrifying. I don't like that. But we're probably fine.
We're probably fine.